For the past 11 months of my life, I have embarked on my new player journey through World of Warcraft. Throughout my time, I've tried out a few different classes along with a number of different races, but my main character is a human mage. Right from the start, I knew that I wanted to set the goal for myself to reach level 60 and become a master of World of Warcraft. And I didn't want to sell myself short. I wanted the true classic WoW experience, which could only mean one thing: no guides and no questy, just as it was when the game originally launched. So that's what I did, and I have to tell you guys, it has been an unforgettable leveling experience so far. Last time I explored through the Arathi Highlands as well as the Stranglethorn Vale, and I got to experience not just one, but two new dungeons for the very first time: the Scarlet Monastery and Uldman. And after all that, I was able to reach level 45, which brings us to today. In this video, you'll get to see me experience a brand new zone, another first time dungeon, probably my favorite one so far, some pretty huge gear upgrades, one of the craziest endings to a quest that I've ever seen, and last but not least, you guys will never guess how I end up reaching level 50. It is actually hilarious. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into it. One of the biggest challenges that I've come up against as I venture into some of these higher level zones is figuring out and finding regions that will be best for my current level and then navigating through them in a way that sort of makes sense. Well, I'm happy to say that today that's not going to be a problem because I have discovered an absolute gem of a zone: Tanaris. This place is a landmine of opportunity for both questing and leveling. Situated at the southernmost point of Kalimdor, Tanaris is a neutral zone home to the goblin town of Gadgetzan, the place that I previously said reminded me of Tatooine from Star Wars. And the surrounding region only reinforces my first impressions because, guys, this zone is basically just one big massive desert. And because of its scale, even though it does require longer travel times, it does a great job of capturing that feeling of immersion and true open world exploration. So after finishing up a couple things in Booty Bay, I head to the docks, interact with this person named Pancake Kitas, gift them with some milk as a token of friendship, hop on the boat, make my way to the goblin town of Ratchet, and since I already have the flight path unlocked, I'm able to use a griffin to make my way to Gadgetzan. And the first NPC quest giver that I run into is none other than Marlin Noggenfogger. Quite the name, if you ask me. And Marlin has a huge dilemma. He's thirsty. Kinda makes sense since, well, you know, you're living in the desert. But I am not here to judge. I am simply here to serve and protect the good creatures of Azeroth. Well, except for those filthy scumbag horde players. Anyways, he needs me to collect something called a Laden Dew Gland because apparently that's going to allow him to create a drink that will finally quench his terrible thirst. And of course, I agree to find it for him. I also have a couple other quests, the Water Pouch Bounty and Waste Wander Justice, to complete as well. So I make my way out into the desert, and one of my favorite things to do whenever exploring a new zone is to try and reveal a bit more of the map in order to get a better feel for my surroundings. And sure enough, my curiosity pays off because I come across this place called the Steamweedle Port, for which I'm rewarded with a couple more quests. The most notable one being from a goblin fashion designer named Haughty Modiste, or Modiste, and the quest is called Pirate Hats Ahoy. There is, however, a bit of an ethical dilemma here. You see, this small goblin lady provides the latest trends in apparel to all of the nobles across Azeroth, and not just the Alliance, but the Horde as well. So, by helping her, I'll actually be indirectly supplying this stuff to some of the Horde leaders. I kinda hate the fact that I'll be making some of them look fashionably relevant. Screw it. She tells me that her buyers will wear whatever it is that she decides is in style, and right now, it's pirate hats. So I hesitantly agree to collect some for her. After that, I make my way back into the desert to start working on the Waste Wander Bandits and Water Pouch Bounty quests, which conveniently, I'm able to complete both of them here here at the Noonshade Ruins, since the mobs that I need to kill are also the same ones that drop the water pouch quest items. Fantastic. So I head back to Gadget Zan to turn those in, receive some XP as well as a water company care package, and I pick up a follow-up quest called, you'll never guess it, more Wastewander Justice. Very original, I know. After that, I'm really looking forward to starting the Pirates Ahoy quest and discovering this place called the Lost Rigger Cove. What can I say? I'm a sucker for pirates. But before I do that, we have a few errands to run. First, a friend named Trilliana teaches me a thing or two about enchanting gear, and by that I mean she enchants all my gear for me. Of course, I show her my thanks by gifting her with a glass of milk. Next, I return to Ironforge to complete some old quests that I forgot to turn in, run into this guy named Domhnall who ends up recognizing me, and of course I gift him with a glass of milk as well. Come on guys, I can't let anyone that meets me just walk away unmilked. Wait. I came out wrong. Anyways, I then travel all the way back to the Dustswallow Marsh to visit Tabitha in order to turn in the dungeon quest called Power in Uldaman, which I completed in the previous video. She then says to me, hey, while you're here ZMAC, do you mind dealing with some outdoor pests that keep giving me trouble and messing with my garden? So I tell her absolutely, not knowing that these pests are called mana surges and they're not actually pests at all, but rather magic casting ghost creatures that fling lightning bolts at you until your health bar is diminished all the way to 0. Yeah, I died. Surprise, surprise. But I somehow still managed to make it back in time to kill 12 of these things for the quest, which actually rewards me with a really nice staff called the Celestial Stave. I just now realized that I haven't gotten a main hand weapon upgrade since my time all the way back in Westfall, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And also probably my own fault because, well, I'm lazy and never actually put forth any effort to upgrade it. Anyways, now that that's done, I can head back to Tanaris, knock out the More Wastewander Justice quest with some help from a few friends, of course, and finally get started on the Pirates Ahoy quest. First things first, I need to figure out where this place is. All it says is head down to Lost Rigger Cove. Well, I guess if I follow a path straight down from Steamweedle Port, it'll probably be somewhere over here. There we go. I'm able to find it without too much difficulty, and I get to work slapping around some of these scallywag pirates. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a nice beach area they've got over here. Might need to break out the old beach towel and sunglasses. Have myself a little R&R as they call it. But anyways, as I'm busy flinging frostbolts and collecting pirate hats, I end up grouping with this guy named Milk Me Dry. Ironic, I know. And it's actually a really good thing that I do because he shares with me not just one, not just two, but 3 different quests that I'm able to capitalize on while we're here taking down pirates in the Lost Rigger Cove. Where he found all these quests, I have no idea. But I'm thankful that I ran into him, that he was willing to share those with me because they don't really require any extra effort on my part to complete. And yes, one of them does involve me chopping off some guy's head, a wanted pirate named Andre Firebeard. So we find him and take him down with no trouble at all. These pirate ships, on the other hand, well, that's a different story. You see, this guy named Stoli needs us to retrieve his shipment of rum from one of the pirate captains that supposedly stole it from him, and he's somewhere over here on one of these ships. We storm the ship, getting a little bit over our heads. Thankfully, I keep my wits about me and skillfully outmaneuver all of the enemy pirate mobs. No, I died. Yeah. But not to worry, because my friend Milk Me Dry is an absolute legend. Sorry, the name just, it gets me. They somehow survive. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know. It's a he, it's a she, but it's a he, probably. I don't know. We'll just call her a she. Anyways. And since she's a druid, she's able to res me, which is actually super nice. Saves me the long trek back to the Pirates Cove. So anyways, we both decide that Stoli's shipment of rum is not worth the cost of our lives and end up just finishing up some of the other quests. I'm able to reach level 46 during the process, and we throw a little dance party once it's all said and done. Milk Me Dry, it's been an honor and a pleasure, my friend. After going our separate ways, I head back to Steamweedle to turn in the quests, make a quick visit to Janaea and Stormwind to upgrade my abilities, and then return to the Pirates Cove to just chill chill out for a bit and get some AoE farming in. In the midst of that, another person, Kimberly, recognizes me and thanks me for making the videos. So of course, again, I gift her with a glass of milk. And right before she leaves, she asks me to put her in one of the episodes. Psh, yeah, right. Like that's gonna happen. But anyways, I keep grinding away, and right before I hit level 47, I die again. Whatever. So I run all the way back to my corpse, finish out the level, and decide that it's time to work on my tailoring profession. That'll help me blow off some of this steam. Really just iron it out, if you know what I mean. No, seriously though, I think it would be really cool if I could get to a place where I'm actually able to craft some decent gear for myself. And also, getting a little cash flowing into my pockets doesn't sound too bad either. So after doing that for a short while, I get it to like 185 or something like that. I'm back on the road and ready to continue my adventures out in the desert. I return to Gadget Zen and pick up a handful of quests, 2 of them belonging to the Zul'Farrak dungeon, which we will get to later, and the other 2 being the Thistle Shrub Valley. Try saying that 10 times fast. Which leads me to the most epic quest finish of all time and the Dune Mall compound. Andy Lynn over here tells me that there's a large bank of nomadic ogres that just recently arrived in Daenerys, and according to her, they need to be destroyed. Now, before I figure out where the heck I'm going, I stop on the Steamwheel port to turn in a quest, and on my way to the Dune Mall compound, I run into this random goblin named Marvin Rivet Seeker. Looks like he's stranded out here in the middle of the desert, but he has a quest for me called Gazridian. He tells me that he's a scientist and treasure hunter, researching ancient troll artifacts made from a rare material called Gazridian, named after the Hydra god Gazrilla. He then asks if I'd be willing to collect more of these ornaments to help with his personal studies. Now, there's one thing that makes this the best quest in the entire game. I get to wear this cool nerdy hat called the Gazridian Detector. And once I put it on, I'm able to see all of these spots in the minimap where I'm able to collect all of the ornament quest items. It's the best. I also discovered this place called the Gaping Chasm, but I don't really end up doing anything in here, and also I'm terrified of bugs, so we'll just skip over this part. Wait, is that a bug stuck in the ground? Holy, yeah, I'm getting out of here. After finishing up with all the Gazridian ornaments, I continue my search for the Dune Mall compound, and would you look at that, here we are. Just look at all these ogres standing around waiting to be pulverized into smithereens. What a beautiful sight. So I make light work of them, finish off their leader, and that's strange. I don't have to chop off any of his body parts. This feels weird. Just doesn't feel right. I'm just gonna walk away, leaving a perfectly good head behind to slowly rot and decay in the sand? Wait, what is wrong with me? I seriously need to stop playing this game. Anyways, I finish up killing the rest of the ogres, turn into Gazridian ornaments, and now it's time to find this place called the Thistle Shrub Valley. Nailed it that time. And what the heck is that? Valley of the Watchers. Yeah, I think I'll just stay back here, if that's okay with you. And here we are. Did you guys know that thistle shrubs are actually distant cousins of the Ents from Lord of the Rings? It's true. Don't mention that to them though. They're still a little bitter that Peter Jackson didn't choose them to star in the films. It's a sensitive subject. But anyways, here we are, friends, the moment you've been waiting for. One of the greatest questing moments of my entire journey in World of Warcraft. Behold, a turtle. But not just any turtle, a talking turtle named Tuga. Apparently, his wife Torta sent him out on a mission to fetch them some dinner, and don't ask me how this happened. He says he took a wrong turn somewhere. Tuga managed to walk across the entire Daenerys zone before realizing his mistake. So now he is hopelessly lost, and the worst part of all, his wife is out there worried sick about him and also probably starving to death. So, ladies and gentlemen, the stakes have never been higher. It's up to me to get this turtle back home safe and sound. Oh, but there is a catch. I only have 30 minutes to do so. Wait. 30 minutes, I've got plenty of time. Since I'm already out here, I need to collect that laden dew gland for the thirsty goblin quest, so I'll just snag it off one of these thistle shrubs before I head out. That shouldn't take me that long, right? Bro, I've been killing these things for the last 18 minutes and still have not gotten the quest item. What is going on? Oh my gosh, finally. Okay guys, I have almost exactly 11 minutes to get Tuga back home. I don't even know if it's possible at this point, but gosh dang it, these turtles are counting on me, so we're at least going to try. Oh my gosh, Tuga, you are so slow. You know that story about the tortoise and the hare? Okay, well, forget about that and let's get a move on. The worst part about this whole ordeal is that Tuga refuses to run away from a fight, so not only do we have to make it back across the entire desert, but I also have to bob and weave in between all the different mobs scattered everywhere. Or we have to stop to kill whatever mob it is that aggroes on Tuga. Guys, I genuinely don't know if I'm going to make it in time. 1.5 minutes left. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the beach. 30 seconds left. Where the heck is Torta? There's not like an indicator on the minimap. Is that her? No. Oh my gosh. Oh, there she is. 14 seconds. Please, 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 please. I'm going to be so pissed if I don't get this. Okay, I think I got it. Wait, where's Tuga? Oh my gosh, dude. 3 seconds to spare. That is actually insane. My adrenaline is pumping right now. I cannot believe that just happened. Oh my gosh. I got so lucky there at the end. If I had gone right instead of left back there, I definitely would have ended up failing the quest. That's crazy. Okay, what did I get here? The Band of the Great Tortoise. 120 armor. That's pretty nice. I don't know if I'm going to end up using that, but either way, that was one heck of an experience. And Tuga swims off into the sunset or the ocean. I don't know how I'm going to top that going forward, but maybe with another first time dungeon experience. That's right, folks. It's time to step up my game and take on the Zul'Farrak dungeon for the very first time. I've heard some really good things about it, and I have a number of quests that I can cash in on by completing it, so why the heck not? We start off by finding myself a crew and then getting escorted to the entrance of ZF, that's what a lot of people call it, by none other than Opie's dad. I don't know who you are, Opie, but I gotta say, your dad's a pretty cool guy. Once we arrive, it appears that the gang's all here and we start making our way through the dungeon. Now, something that my good friend iDucky does before all of his dungeon runs that I absolutely love is he shows you guys some of the best possible loot items that he'd be able to get for his specific character when completing these runs. So I'm going to copy him and start doing that as well. Some of the big ticket items that I'd be absolutely thrilled to get are the Spell Shock leggings and Zumra's Vexing Cane. Either one would give me a boost to both stamina and intellect while also increasing my potential damage output. That would be fantastic. Now truthfully, I don't really know much about the dungeon itself or why it is exactly that we're here. I do know that Zul'Farrak is the capital city for the Sand Fury trolls, but that's about it. As we make our way through, one of the first things that I notice is that it's not underground, which from my experience is kind of unique for a classic WoW dungeon. Instead, it's outdoors, although you will often find yourself running within the confinements of these ginormous city walls. The streets of the city feel almost like a labyrinth of sorts at times, and of course, the dungeon theme matches the same terrain and building style of the surrounding desert region. Sun-scorched ruins, pyramids, troll temples, all of that good stuff. And as we continue moving forward, grouping and taking down all the mobs in a nice orderly fashion, I forget how much leveling XP some of these dungeons actually give you without really having to even think about it, which is a big reason why it's one of my favorite things to do in WoW Classic. Well, that and the potential for good loot. Oh, and speaking of leveling, I am now officially level 48. Let's go. After taking down the first named boss, Thika the Martyr, we approach this large, wide open area, and to my surprise, there's a bunch of these scarabs just scattered around everywhere. Kind of reminds me of that one scene from The Mummy where there's a bunch of scarabs that burrow inside a person's body and then crawl up their arms and legs all the way to their, well, you get the picture. Anyways, on to the next named boss, Antisul. See if he drops anything good. The Lifeblood Amulet. Not terrible, but not exactly something that would be great for me. And we're back at the creepy scarab spot. Thankfully, my team is willing to group up a bunch of these things because I actually need to kill a large number of them in order to complete one of my quests. Oh, that is just so satisfying right there. Nothing gets the dopamine receptors full like a good old blizzard bomb on a giant group of mobs. After collecting all the scarab shell quest items, we continue on until we reach the third named boss, the Witch Dr. Zurma. And this is the guy that drops our first big ticket item, the Zumra's Vexing Cane. Let's see if we can get lucky. Holy crap, that's a lot of mobs. It's not the cane, but he does drop some pretty nice gloves that I could actually use. Although I was already gifted some of these Dreamweave gear items from my friend Magentra, so I don't technically need these bad boys. I guess I'll just greed and see what happens. Oh, nice. I actually end up getting them regardless. Very cool. I need to figure out how to amp up my mana pool or regen or something. I am always running out of mana. The tank eventually leads us to this massive pyramid staircase, which I can only assume is like the city's main temple or something like that. I mean, seriously guys, this thing, it's huge. We take down this executioner guy, and then something really interesting happens. It would appear that our party has just freed a bunch of captured prisoners, one of them being what looks like an Alliance sergeant. Maybe we'll get a little bit of story out of this after all. And then the craziest battle ensues. For some reason, all of these trolls just start spawning and charging up the stairs at us. They are not happy that we released the prisoners. Oh baby, that's a lot of mobs. I don't really know what's happening, but we fend them off, and eventually the sergeant gives the command for us to make our way down to the base of the temple staircase. Ooh, what's this? The Jinxed Hoodoo skin. Aw, man, I can't equip it. And then out of nowhere, the sergeant yells out, "What? How dare you say that to me?" Wait, did someone say something? I'm so confused. After all we've been through, well, I didn't like you anyway. Who is this guy talking to? What is going on? Oh, I guess we're fighting them now? I'm so confused. I have no idea what's happening. All right, so I guess we just have to kill that guy. So much for there being any hope of a story. And when I asked my group why they turned on us, I received this response. They were programmed to. Okay, well, you got me there. But no, seriously, it's kind of funny. This guy responds with, "Honestly, I've never paid attention," and I guess that's the end of it. No one seems to know the story behind this dungeon at all. Maybe someone watching this video can help me out. But anyways, we make our way to the next couple of named bosses, take them down, and they drop the Chief's Enforcer, which, based off my party's response, is not what they were hoping for. Apparently, this guy was looking for the big bad pauldrons. At first, I thought that was it, but then they tell me to follow them down this corridor, and holy mother of pearl, what is that? Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, it's Gazrilla. That's the Hydra deity that Marvin Rivet Seeker was telling us about. I did not know it was an actual creature. I thought someone had just made it up, or at least it was just something that was found in a history book. Wow, a 3-headed Hydra. That is awesome. We eventually put the creature out of its misery. I'm not sure the Sand Fury Trolls are going to forgive us for that one. And it drops something called the Gazrilla Fang. Chance on hit surrounds you with electricity, dealing 10 nature damage to any who strike you for 15 seconds. That's pretty cool. And would you look at that, I actually won it. Nice. I don't think I'll be using it, but still. Once that's all said and done, I tell everyone GG, Hearthstone back to Teneris, start out a bunch of quests, and get totally sidetracked with this random quest to help return someone's pet robot chicken. Sounded like a lot of fun at first, but took forever for me to find this stupid thing, and then I end up dying just trying to get it back to its owner. So yeah, I basically just say screw it. I guess we'll never know why the chicken crossed the desert. Now, if you've been following along at all on some of my community live streams, you're probably aware of one of my biggest grievances with the mage ability progression, Conjured Water. The last time I received a Conjured Water upgrade was 13 levels ago. 13! Why? It has been taking forever whenever I sit down and replenish my mana with the level 35 water spell. Could I go out and simply buy some upgraded water so that it doesn't take so long? Of course, but that's not the point. It's the principle of the matter. Why do I have to wait so long before being rewarded with a Conjured Water upgrade? That is crazy to me. So anyways, yeah, now that I'm level 48, I decide to pay a visit to Janaea, and I am praying that I'll finally get the next Conjured Water spell. Please, Janaea. Please. Please. No, dude. It's not until level 50, bro. I am genuinely so disappointed. Whatever, I'm just gonna buy some better water. I cannot do this anymore. All right, where were we? So I end up heading back to Teneris, turning the Thistle Shrub Valley quest, and then hop hop on a griffin to Dustswallow Marsh in order to speak with Tabitha for the very last time. That's right, folks, once I turned in the Tiara of the Deep quest that I finished during the Zul'Farrak dungeon run, I'm sad to say that my business with Tabitha is complete. No more having to travel around the entire world to fetch things for her, only to have to run all the way back through this godforsaken zone to complete her quests. No, I'm just kidding. She's actually the one that gave me both the Ice Fury one and the Celestial Stave, both really nice pieces of gear, so I'm definitely thankful for my time spent with her. And now, friends, we are getting very close to the moment that you've all been waiting for, the mysterious way in which I reach level 50. There's just a couple things left to cover. First off, I kind of feel like grinding out the rest of the way to 49, and what better way to do that than murdering some South Sea pirates by the droves. Ah, yes. Feels good to be a mage. There you have it, folks, level 49. Incredible, I know. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, there she is, my first ever World of Warcraft streaker. Quixana is her name, and of course, I'm not going to allow her to have all the fun without me. Oh my gosh, dude, my guy is jacked. I didn't even realize I could take my shirt off. I look pretty dang good for an elderly balding mage. So we run around for a bit, and everyone on the stream is having a good time with it. I personally really enjoy these spontaneous community moments. I feel like these are the sort of things that make MMORPGs so special. Not the naked lady part, but you know what I mean. Anyways, for the final stretch, I decided to do another ZF run just for fun. Definitely don't get teamed wiped right towards the end of it. Discover another brand new zone, the Searing Gorge, which we will go more in depth with in a future video. And finally, the pinnacle, the zenith, the climax that you've been waiting for. If any of you somehow guessed the manner in which I reached level 50, I will be shocked. While completing a quest and grinding out some of these dark iron dwarves, I came across a peculiar drop item, the Grimed Silt Outhouse Key, which when I click on it, it opens up a quest dialogue. The key to freedom. It says, the small brass key looks simple enough. The only thing that seems to make it stand out are some words scratched into the head of it. Dark Iron Outhouse. Do not duplicate. You have no idea what it means or what it will lead to. Very interesting. So I take a look around and what's this over here? That looks like an outhouse to me. So I approach, and sure enough, it is. What does this quest dialogue over here say? Who is it? Can't you see I'm busy? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I reached level 50 for the first time ever in Classic WoW while talking to a random guy sitting in an outhouse who is taking a giant crap. If that's not poetry, I don't know what is. I genuinely don't think I could come up with a better way to bring in the big 5-0. If anyone out there actually guessed it, let me know in the comments and I'll send you a special gift prepared by none other than yours truly. Freshly made, handcrafted with care. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Well, that just about wraps it up. Be sure to keep an eye out for the next Classic WoW episode. I've been told by multiple people that YouTube hasn't been showing my videos in their recommended feed. I guess that's just the algorithm for you, so be sure to turn notifications on so you don't miss any future episodes. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Again, a huge shout out to my Patreons for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate your continued generosity. YouTube is something that I do for fun at the moment since I'm still working a full-time job, but if I ever do want to make it anything more than that, I'll need lots of people to hop on board. If you'd like to become a part of the Patreon family, be sure to click on the link listed in the description below. You can support the channel for as little as $3 a month. Any and all contributions are much appreciated. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.